Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
We got new posters for Ahsoka. About time.
Really? You were
We haven't gotten any
eagerly
yet.
anticipating them?
I usually like to see them because it's nice, beautiful images of the characters, just spotlighting them, rather than trying to pick them out of trailers and stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
Plus, there is a little information that possibly can be gleaned from these.
Oh?
Yeah. You have to really analyze things. Come on, Thor, you know better.
Do I, though?
Detective Naboo on the case.
Uh-oh.
I have to keep rounding out my counsel.
I was going to say that seemed like a new member of the team.
Detective Naboo. Well, you do have about 2-ish more weeks to wait.
A little over 2, yeah.
I'm excited. You're excited. Going to be watching it at a very, very early time in the AM because I'm way too excited to wait.
Yeah, be talking about it right after.
Be damned.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to sleep. I'm just going to do the review right away.
We'll take a nap early or something. We'll
It's going to
attempt to.
It's going to be a fun day. I'll be fine.
Sure.
Sleep is for the weak.
Well,
for the non-Star Wars fans.
We'll start with the quote-unquote heroes of the story first.
Quote-unquote, why are we putting quotes around it? You think somebody's going to betray us and not be a hero?
I don't know. Things happen. First up, we've got the Ahsoka poster. It looks pretty much identical to the first poster that came out with the other trailer, with the first trailer. They just repositioned it a little bit with the World Between Worlds background. So that's all I'm saying about that.
Okay.
Next one I actually have things to say about. It's a Hera poster. We've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's got her blaster drawn and ready to fire. What's interesting is the background is on the same background similar to the Ahsoka background on the planet where we know Ahsoka confronts Balon, which we haven't seen any images in the trailer of her being there, but I think this points to her being there.
Or is it just they thought it was a cool background to go with the image?
No. I've got
It's
more
gotta mean
evidence.
something? Okay.
More evidence.
Okay.
The next poster, we have Sabine with Ezra's lightsaber in the same location. We know that she'll be there because that's where she's going to fight Shin, according to trailer number 2.
Yes.
So far, Ahsoka and Sabine
are
both on backgrounds that are confirmed that they are in the show.
So that they're putting all the heroes on the same background?
No, because next
No?
we'll move
Okay,
into...
okay.
Next we're going to move on to the quote-unquote villains. We have first up the late Ray Stevenson's Balon Skull in the location where he duels Ahsoka.
Okay.
So it couldn't just be that the
it
heroes were
but
there.
maybe it's just cool for every... Here's the question before we go on. Is there anybody not on this background?
We will see, won't
Okay.
we? Okay. And here is Shin Hati in the same location, but from a different perspective because you can see the red trees.
Okay.
It's not the exact same background.
You're not selling me yet.
None of them are the same background.
Okay.
And hers is from an entirely different angle because you see the red trees more behind her than the other ones.
Okay.
And last we see Morgan Elspeth in Thrawn's throne room. Or at least what we're calling that. His ship. His golden ship.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
We don't even know if that's Thrawn's ship or it's the ship she just takes to get to him, but we're all calling it Thrawn's ship, I guess.
Thrawn's golden throne room ship, yeah.
But Morgan Elspeth is on the ship that we know we saw her in the trailer.
Okay, so that tends to imply either they thought it was a cooler background or it's a background that applies to just her.
Just her, that she is there.
Or they're sticking with where they are seen in the show, which means Hera will be on.
Which means Hera will go with them.
Yes. Well, yeah.
What if
We
she
talked about that
dies?
yesterday, didn't we? Whether or not Hera is going to go actually with them or she's just kind of going to do New Republic stuff or what?
I think that she might go with.
Who do you think's going to die? Wait a second. What are you talking about?
What if something horrible happens to her when she's there?
Why would you say that?
Because I can.
There's no way Hera's going to die.
Think about it. We know that Hera and Ahsoka are close, and we see Hera's trying to convince them that, hey, I need the support of the Republic on this. When they don't give it to her, I think she goes with Ahsoka, with Sabine, and I'm not saying she dies, but it evens the numbers out a little bit because we know Marok is there as well, and some other goon that's associated with Morgan Elspeth.
Goon.
What? So that makes them, 5 against 2? At least 3 evens our odds a little bit.
I don't know that Hera and Ahsoka are besties. That's never really
they
established. Ahsoka was more with
They had more of a working relationship
Jedi
than the
people.
rest because she was the Fulcrum agent that she contacted.
Sure, but I don't know that they were friends because of that. We don't even know
they're
that Hera
buddies.
knew who Ahsoka was. She knew it was Fulcrum. Where you're now assuming that Hera knew the identity of Fulcrum, which I don't think she did.
I think she did.
No, because if I mean, the whole idea of Fulcrum being in the shadowy...
I think that's how she was introduced in Rebels, is here's our Fulcrum agent. Oh, it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, but that makes no sense, because the part of the reason to stay in the shadows is if Phoenix, crew there is captured, they can't give away the identity of Fulcrum.
Well, there's lots of Fulcrums, so...
Well, sure, but you don't want to know the identity of it. I mean, I'm not totally disagreeing. I'm sure they're friends. I don't know that they're like besties.
But she does go with her because she's, of course, worried about neutralizing a threat to the Republic. She is afraid of Thrawn on her own level.
She's got some personal, there's some connections.
I don't see why she wouldn't go with.
I mean, she wants to find Ezra, too. Like, that's kind of a mother-son kind of relationship they had going, so.
Yeah.
Maybe more big sister. I don't know that, like, Ezra really looked at her like a mother figure.
No, but
she was kind of the mother figure of the
team,
but I don't know, like, anybody thought of her, like, as, you know what I'm saying.
What's sad is we do not have a poster featuring Marok or Thrawn. I know they release posters as the weeks go by, but I thought maybe we'd get one of them now.
We'll get Thrawn. He'll be on his golden blinged out ship background.
If it is indeed his ship, or
well,
we have no idea.
We don't know.
What the thing
I just can't see.
Assume it is.
I can't see Thrawn having like the blinged out ship. He probably he doesn't have that kind of.
Right.
I mean, he likes his art. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know that he likes the extravagant just for the sake of the extravagant.
It could be a ship that the Imperial remnant gave to Morgan Elspeth to go and retrieve him.
Could be. Why'd they give him the nice ship?
Because they think very highly of him.
Some of them do, yeah.
They don't seem to realize that maybe he isn't 100% for the Empire, especially now that the Empire's gone.
Well, he never was. That's his secret.
But so that was my gleaning of information just by looking at the new posters, and what I put out there makes sense, right? Yeah.
Sure. Professor Naboo.
No, Professor Naboo, not just Detective Naboo. I was Detective Naboo.
Detective. I don't know why I said Professor.
I don't know either, because I'm a detective. All right, let's move on to our next story today. We did get some information for the upcoming book from a certain point of view, the third in the certain point of view trilogy. This one's stories are all going to be Return of the Jedi related.
Yep.
I know you love these stories.
I do?
No.
I have found them interesting.
They're supposed to be. They're from interesting perspectives within Star Wars.
Some are better than others, as is always the case.
The one that I'm really looking forward to in this book is called Brotherhood. What the tweet kind of said, giving away a couple lines from this book, or at least from this short story, because there's a bunch of short stories.
There's a lot of stories in them, yeah.
It said, Anakin, a voice, yet this was different. Clearly not a specter of the past. This didn't come with any memories or visions of things gone by. Instead, it was as if the words whispered directly into his ear, as if he wasn't a phantom lost in the oceans of the Force, but whole in body and spirit as he once was. A powerful Jedi Knight, combat-ready with drawn lightsaber in wide stance, staring down dozens of battle droids without a single worry. In fact, this felt just like that, but different, because this came right now. Anakin, that voice. Obi-Wan? So, it's a story from the perspective of Anakin Skywalker, of Darth Vader, most likely in his final moments, that when now we're getting a little confirmation that maybe Obi-Wan is definitely the one who helped him.
It's always been a mystery.
Manifest as a Force ghost.
It's been a mystery since it kind of was implied you need training and doesn't just happen to you. I think we talked about that yesterday or the day before too.
Yeah.
It was once assumed, when you watch the first Star Wars movie and Obi-Wan disappears, like, oh yeah, that's what Jedi do when they die.
They just disappear.
No, it takes a lot of training, actually.
Mm-hmm. But I found that to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to reading that story and seeing
so am I.
How it holds up.
We'll see.
Other interesting stories going on. We've got a story about the Wills, called Return of the Wills. It's someone who's writing in the Journal of the Wills.
We'll see about that one, too.
There's an interesting story about Ewoks called Wolf Trap.
You knew there was going to be Ewok stories in here.
This one is from the point of view of a scout trooper who runs into an Ewok while he's on patrol and what fate befalls him.
He gets eaten. We already know.
There's actually a number of stories about Ewoks from their perspective.
What did I just say?
A number of them.
I told you we're going to get Ewok
like two
stories.
or three others, because I think I saw a Wicked story, Logray had a story. There's other Ewok tales going on in here. We've also got a story from the perspective of the Emperor's Red Guards. There's a story from the perspective of the the man who caught Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah. I give my surrender. Here's my lightsaber.
It's well then.
Way to go, buddy. Bet he got a promotion for the whole day the Empire survived.
Don't worry, I know you'd really be upset if you didn't have this one. There is a story told from the perspective of the Sarlacc. Either way,
Burp.
I think
That's the story.
Either way, I think
The
it's
end.
going to be a lot of fun to read. You take the stories with a little grain of
You
salt.
take it with a big grain of salt, yes.
But some of them are going to be probably a little more accurate than others. I mean, I think
Sure.
they're supposed to sort of be canon-ish from
Well,
a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view,
because
yes.
they're from a point of view of a particular character whose opinions may be a little different from other
Yes,
people's.
which is something I've seen people get really mad about some of these stories because they don't take into account. Like, yes, it might be the author trying to convey their opinion, sure, but they have to keep in mind, like, within story, people can have different opinions than what are fact or established.
Right, you go
canon
to
or
5
whatever it might
different
be.
people and ask them what they saw
Yes,
in a parade, and you're going to get a different point of
Sure,
reference from
exactly.
each person because they all saw it their way.
yes. It's just something to keep in mind with these books. That just
Still a
because
fun
it's
read.
stated in them doesn't mean it makes it canon. It's just their opinion from a...
Certain point of view.
Yes.
I mean, if the Wicket and the Ewoks describe them as the rebellion were angels coming from the heavens, and the demons
angel?
were coming. The demons in white were coming, and they must fight them and eat.
What?
I mean, that's not.
We must eat the demons in white armor because they're yummy. But the angels look like they taste the same, so let's try
They actually
cooking them
describe
too.
them as like bugs in a hard casing or something, and that doesn't mean they are. It's just the point of view of Ewoks.
Yes.
So it'll be fun.
From their point of view, Han Solo looked quite tasty.
Comes out August 29th.
All right, well, I'll be reading it. I know you'll probably partake as well. Mm-hmm. But no, it'll be fun. All right, I guess that's going to be all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. Will you be checking out a Return of the Jedi from a certain point of view? Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.